Is pet food safe for humans' consumption? We all have seen videos of humans eating pet food due to a failed bet or due to starvation, and in some cases even to save money. I'm sure some of you pet owners out there are also curious to find out exactly what's in those food that your pets can't live without. In this video, I will go through the details of the differences we have in our digestive system, exactly what is inside those tin cans and how it can affect us, humans. Firstly, let's discuss on the differences in the digestive system between pets and humans. Have you ever witnessed your dog consume a whole food item or anything that would make you feel ill? Here is an explanation of how they break down their meal. Starting with our jaw. The jaw of a human being can move roundedly up, down, and side to side. Teeth have a flatter surface since they are made for grinding. A dog's jaw, for example, only moves in an up and down motion. The teeth are robust and sharp, with a three-root arrangement that is intended to crush dense things. Next, our saliva. Human saliva is utilized to facilitate digestion and breaks down meals. Dogs, on the other hand, their saliva is employed to lubricate food, but they don't have the enzymes needed to digest it. Instead, the enzymes in their saliva destroy microorganisms. Have you ever witnessed your dog consume something nasty and stale without getting sick? This is the reason. Humans' gullets are created so that food stays in our stomachs and prevents it from entering our windpipes. Dogs' gullets, however, have great gag reflex. Despite the fact that dogs cannot chew their food, it must nevertheless be the proper size and quantity to fit. Otherwise, the dog simply pukes. Your dog is healthy. His body is simply urging him to try again. Although it is disgusting, it is very normal. Next, the stomach. Food passes through our stomach in around an hour, but depending on the quantity and complexity, it may take longer. The majority of a dog's capacity to break down food occurs in this area. Large bits of meat and bones can be broken down by their stomach's higher acidity. Since food is maintained in the stomach for a longer duration, animal proteins, bones, and lipids can be broken down by stomach acid. This explains why dogs may survive on 1 or 2 meals every day. The longer the food stays in their stomach, the longer they feel satisfied. Lastly, our intestines. Humans have much longer intestinal tracts than dogs, where food absorption occurs, giving the body more time to absorb nutrients from more complex diets like plant and grain-based foods. Dogs have much smaller digestive tracts. The canine's ability to absorb nutrients from their food is therefore hampered. Dogs benefit more from eating things that are simple to break down, such as meat, bones, and organs. Nonetheless, they struggle with more complex diets like grains and veggies. Bacteria will also have less time to grow and cause issues as a result. Ever catch your dog eating feces? Yes, it's disgusting, but feces contains pre-digested plant-based nutrients that are incredibly useful. Now that we know how our digestive system differs, let's see what's really in these foods that can make it harmful for human consumption. On hindsight, you'll come to appreciate how tasty pet food is, especially if it doesn't contain any artificial flavors or additives. If it contains actual meat and meat sauce, moist canned food may taste far better than you would expect. But what will happen if you continue consuming cat food frequently? According to Dana Huns, an assistant professor at the Fielding School of Public Health at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, is that pet food can be toxic to people if it is contaminated. Pet food can be affected by foodborne diseases including Salmonella and E. coli, just like human food. In order to safeguard your furry pals, it's crucial to adhere to the storage instructions on your pet food. For instance, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, canned pet food should be kept in a cold, dry area that is no hotter than 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.6 degrees Celsius. However, eating your pet's food may carry a higher risk of infection because we frequently don't store pet food as carefully as we do our own food. The FDA has issued numerous recalls and withdrawals regarding pet food over the years, including one in 2022 for dog food that may have been contaminated with salmonella due to rodent activity at a distribution center. There's also a case in 2021 for dog food that may have contained excessive amounts of aflatoxins, or toxins made by specific fungi found on agricultural crops. However, do note that uncontaminated pet food is secure, at least temporarily. The main ingredients of pet food are byproducts from processing facilities such as bones, meat scraps and offal, such as the stomach, large intestine, or tongue, from slaughterhouses, and soybean and grain wastes. Pet food comes from the same sources as human food, despite the unappetizing nature of some of the ingredients. So it's safe to try if you're curious about kibble or even decide to eat it in a food shortage scenario. It's also not intrinsically poisonous. There are some raw pet meals, though, that you should avoid. That is never a wise move. It is preferable to keep pet food consumption brief, ideally no longer than a few days. Pet food provides a supply of energy and protein in an emergency. But it's crucial to keep in mind that pet food is created specifically to meet the needs of animals rather than people. For instance, vitamin K, which can be hazardous to humans at high doses, is included in dog meals. Additionally, some pet meals omit vitamin C, which people must consume through diet, because both dogs and cats produce it on their own. Long-term intake of pet food by people increases the danger of nutritional inadequacy. It's also crucial to be aware that the majority of pet food is marked as not suitable for human consumption. Therefore, you would only have limited legal options if consuming pet food made you ill due to a nutritional deficiency or a contaminant that entered the food before it got to your home. In the end, although pet food isn't optimal, it isn't poisonous to people. If you need to, you can use it or at least test it out. However, from the standpoint of nutrition or food safety, it is not a long-term answer.